Hello and welcome back to the Gaming Tech channel, everybody. We're live on YouTube and Twitch, and here we are with our Forza Horizon 5 series. Starting the session off with the 911 RSR. So we're going to be doing some championships today, some seasonal championships. So let's get started here. This right here is a real race car, man. I love the way it sounds. I love the way it looks. And of course, it performs really well. You got the naturally aspirated 4-liter flat 6. But instead of mounted on the back, instead of being mounted on the back, it's in the middle. This is the mid-engine. Unlike your 911 GT3 RS, this drives a lot different, you know. The driving dynamics of this car is, you know, pretty much like a real race car, I would say. You got the mid-engine, rear-wheel drive setup. This is a real track car. Alright, we're here at the first championship, so looks like we got 3 events. And we only have one car that we can choose for this championship. At least we have one. We don't have to buy anything, so that's good. We'll use the Aventador here. So it seems like this Aventador is it stock? Can't tell. Looks like we can adjust the brakes, and what else? The suspension. So that might be still stock. I don't think I have upgraded this car. So this is the Super Veloce. All right, let's start. Naturally aspirated V12, 7-speed transmission, and this is not a dual clutch transmission. Have I driven this car before? I really don't think I have. It puts down the power really good, thanks to its all-wheel drive system. Plus, it's not the regular Aventador. This is the lighter version. So it feels even faster. That was easy. Nice clean run. And now we'll move on to the next one. We got 2 more to go. I like the paint. It's like matte blue, but kind of purple at the same time. Like, it's mostly blue, but there's a slight tinge of purple in there. It's like 95% blue. Well, looking at this car on my streaming monitor, on my streaming PC, it looks different over there. So maybe it's just my monitor here that's making this car look different in its color. Yeah, it looks completely blue on my other monitor. That's weird. Okay. Where is the next event? All the way up here. Alright, I actually want to drive the Porsche there again. The RSR. So if you compare the handling from a regular 911 GT3 RS, I can't believe I'm calling this regular. It's 7.6. I know that doesn't mean much. On the RSR, 7.9. But dude, the way this car handles with the engine in the middle, it's crazy. So we have, oh, I'm not looking at the right one. I'm looking at the GT3R. Where's the RSR? Oh, it's up here. That's the RSR. With the mid-engine. Yeah, perfect. So we have 2,800 pounds, 2,866, and the GT3 RS is 3,153. Okay. So it's a little bit heavier. It's not a whole lot heavy. I mean, you know, still decent amount heavy. And in terms of power, it's pretty damn similar. You know, 514, 346, 503. So it's less horsepower here. 340. So less horsepower, less torque. Plus you have less gears. This only has 6 gears. So the top speed is much lower. So 6.6 top speed and 7.2 here. That's because we have less gears and it's geared differently and it has more downforce, right? Plus you got the extra 300 pounds of weight, so it's a good combination, I would say. It's a good upgrade over the 911 GT3 RS. Like this car, the 911 GT3 RS, you can still drive it on roads. Where this one is strictly for a freaking track. I like the triple LED shift light. It's nice. Alright, I'm not taking this on dirt roads. That's it, it's maxed out. Here we are. $7-liter V12, man. That's crazy. All right, let's do this. A little bit of understeer. That's normal because this is all-wheel drive. Oh! Well. That little bit of understeer just turned into a lot of understeer. And we freaking flipped the car. Alright, we're gonna restart this one. That was embarrassing, bro. Alright, let me get a freaking tissue here. For my nose. Getting runny. I'll be right back. Alright, I am back. And let's start this race again. That looks like the regular Aventador in front of us, with a single exhaust in the middle. We have to let off the throttle and slow down in the turns because, or else we're gonna run into some understeer, and that's not good. Nice race. Alright, we got one more over here. So it looks like the reason we only had one option for the cars to pick from is because the restriction is S1 900 hypercars. And this is the only hypercar that we have that's an S1 at 900. So that makes sense. I thought this was a supercar, but it turns out the Aventador Super Veloce is a hypercar. Alright, let's do this. Wow, so much understeer? Yeah, we have lots of grip, but the understeer is crazy. Good brakes. That was a close one. Nice race. And here we win our third SLK 55. We have 3 of them now. That's alright. Yeah, we have so many repeating cars now. Alright, there's another championship hiding somewhere. There's one over here. And one up here. We're gonna do this first. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, let's continue to our next championship. And I'm gonna pick a different car here. We'll drive down there in a different car. Alright, let's pick the M2. So we have been driving this car for a couple of days now, and I think I'm finally gonna modify it. It's a little heavy for my taste, so we're gonna make it lighter. And maybe add some more power to it, but first we'll make it lighter. So it's a small car, but it's freaking heavy. So it's 3748 pounds. This little thing. So let's do some weight reduction. But before we do that, let's look at the 0 to 60 and the top speed. So we have 186 miles per hour top speed in the 6-speed manual M2. 4.20 to 60, 10.3, 0 to 100. So we're gonna go down in weight. Let's just do race weight reduction here. Goes down to 3,020 pounds. So that's significantly lower. So now our 0 to 60 will be 4 seconds flat. Well, not flat, but 4.05. So almost a 4-second flat. And our 0 to 100 times have also improved from 10.3 to 9.5. And top speed only goes up by like 1 mile per hour. Yeah, not even. But that's gonna make our handling, acceleration, launch, braking, everything better. So it's gonna be like a whole new car, man. I wish it was this weight from factory, but I guess BMW just likes to make their cars heavy. That's alright. So we're gonna make it light, and what else should we do? I do want to leave it manual for now. Let's do the exhaust here. So this is the stock exhaust. Sounds decent, not gonna lie. Sounds alright, but okay, dude. Now it sounds like a real M car. We gained 24 horsepower. Perfect. Alright, that's gonna be the setup. Weight reduction and exhaust. That's it. And it still is a A-Class 799 car, so that's really good. Alright, it's gonna feel so much faster. So much lighter around turns. I know we haven't upgraded the rubber, the tire compound. We'll do that later if we feel like it's losing grip. But in its stock form, it was pretty grippy, you know. It had all the traction in the world. Yeah, it didn't spin out like that in first gear. It actually hooked in first gear, but now it actually spins. It actually chirps in second gear now, wow. Wow, it's pulling so much harder. And the exhaust is just like cherry on top, man. I like the setup. Simple setup. Nothing too crazy. I like it. I like the exhaust, man. It's actually kind of throaty and deep, you know? It's got a nice deep sound to it. It's not raspy or anything. I like it. Right there. Like after 5 RPM, it sounds really good. Right there, around 6. It makes some sweet noises. I like that grunt, man. I don't know why my nose is being a little runny today. I don't know why. It's the weather. The weather is changing, bro. Okay, we good, we good. Thanks to the weight reduction, we can do proper donuts now. I mean, it was able to do donuts before, but it wasn't as good as this. Now it's like really good. So it could use some stickier tires, you know. But then it's not gonna slide around as much, so there's that. Yeah, we need some stickier tires. We need better compound on there. Wow, what a save, right? Alright, we have 3 events. And looks like we can pick from 2 cars here. Is it gonna be a Porsche or is it gonna be a Ferrari? Ferrari or a Porsche? Oh, this is gonna be a tough choice. Looks like I have modified this GT3 and this F355 looks stock to me. I don't think I've done anything to it. Oh. Well, we are making more power on the GT3 and it's a little bit lighter. More power, a little bit lighter. Plus it's like modified to top of A class. I think this is gonna be a better choice. Plus it's a little newer. Yeah, since I have already modified this car, I think I'm gonna go with the Porsche here. Old school 911 GT3. Let's see how it does. Sounds good. I'm pretty sure I have exhaust on here. We're all getting beat by the Ford GT. Ford GTs are actually so underrated. He's right behind me. Come on, let's not lose it. Oh, dude. I think he crashed. Yeah, that's why he got a little slower back there. Good job, 911. "21 years old and still got it." Alright, where's the next race? Not too far from here. Let's go. This car sounds so good. This is crazy, bro. Sounds like my nose got its own turbo. It's making turbo sounds. Oh no! I don't mean to do that. Yeah, we messed up. We're good. This is a long race. We're gonna finish second. That's fine. That's totally fine because we did mess up twice, so not a big deal. In the next race, we'll get first place and win the championship. Overall, we do have the highest points, 36. The second opponent also has 36, so next one's gonna be the one that really matters. No messing up on the next one. Where's the next one? Down here on the map. Okay. We'll drive down there in the M2. And before we drive down there, I'm actually gonna put some better compound tires on here. So we have already done weight reduction and exhaust. And now we're gonna change the tires. So there's a big difference once we put on slick race tires. 3.30 to 60, 8.2 0 to 100. Plus our top speed goes up. Or does it not? No, my bad. Stays the same. But overall handling, acceleration, and launch should improve. So we'll do that. And we're not going to make the tires any wider. I'm going to leave the stock width for now. We might change that if we add more power to the car. But we are going to replace the brakes to better brakes here to complement our race compound tires. So braking distance is going to go from 110 feet to 92 feet from 60 to 0. Alright. That's it for now. It's no longer a A-class car. An A-class. Now it's an... Yeah, it's a S1 car now. It drives so much better with these race tires. Oh, dude, the braking improved by a lot. Stops on a dime now. There's so much grip. You know what? I want to add more power to it now. Because it can definitely handle it. Let's upgrade the turbos. So we have exhaust, but we're not going to mess with anything else just yet. We're just going to upgrade the turbos here. So I'm thinking we should just go with the sport turbos and not go all out. Or should we go all out? That's hard to say. I think I just want to go for the sport turbos now. I don't want to add more than 100 horsepower. 575 horse and 514 foot-pounds of torque seems about right for this platform with our current mods. So we'll do that. Leave everything the way it is. Yep. This feels a lot better. Feels perfect. We got the stopping power, we got the acceleration, we got the lightweight, nice traction. It's a nice all-rounder car. It's maxed out. 6th gear, our top speed is what did we hit? It was like 192. Yeah. I wouldn't say it's fully dialed in, but it's like 90% there. Hey, I just saw your comment on Facebook about your display shutting off. It could be the drivers. It could be your power supply. So I would say the first thing you should do is just make sure your drivers are updated. And if your drivers are updated, then it could be something else. Did it just start happening now, or has it been like that since the start of your build? Like, since you built it? Oh, so it only happens in one game? It doesn't really happen with any other game? You could try running the game in windowed mode. After you run the game, press Alt Enter, so it switches from full screen to windowed mode. See if that works. Oh, it happens in all the games? Okay. Yeah, the first thing I would do is just check your drivers and then also try a different HDMI cable or a display port cable if you have one. Because trying out a different cable is always going to be an easier option compared to like replacing your whole power supply unit. But try with running DDU, or actually don't even do that. DDU is your display driver uninstaller. Before doing that, just check your drivers. Are they the latest? And if not, try reinstalling your drivers. Because if you can install your drivers successfully, that means your hardware is alright. I mean, there's no issues with the hardware, the GPU itself. And if you can reinstall your drivers or update your drivers successfully, I would recommend running a benchmark test, like Firemark. Because it could be a thermal throttling issue. Maybe your GPU is overheating and that's cutting out the display. So check on that, because you're saying it only happens when you game, so that means it's something to do with not getting enough power or the GPU thermal throttling. And I'm assuming you're running the monitor at the correct resolution with the correct refresh rate. Alright, we're gonna have to restart here. We cannot finish fourth, we need to finish first. So, wait. What am I doing here? Come on. Yeah, download Formark. Formark GPU stress test, and try running that. It's gonna run your GPU at, max power, and that will tell you the temperature and the clock while you're running the Formark. It's a benchmark tool, and if for some reason you can't run that, that means your GPU is thermal throttling. If you see the temperature going up like way too high, or if the display shuts off right when you launch the software, that means maybe it's not getting enough power. So always start with like the easiest things you can do, like checking your drivers. Try running a different cable, different HDMI or display port cable. So you're saying you repasted your CPU? Was your computer running fine before you did that? And was your computer running fine before you changed your GPU? Because you could have a driver conflict, right? Maybe you didn't uninstall the drivers from your previous GPU. Did you run, is it a clean Windows install? Alright, restart again. Bro! Yeah, just check your drivers first. Download the latest drivers, and before you reinstall your drivers, I would recommend running DDU, Display Driver Uninstaller. That will uninstall any previous drivers from your old graphics card. So that way, when you install your new graphics drivers, they're not going to have any conflict with the older drivers. And that's what you want. Let's not lose control here. So if you're saying everything is updated correctly, that's good. That's a good sign. Try running the FarmMark. Because if you can't run that, that means there's issues with your GPU. Maybe it's thermal throttling, or maybe it's not getting enough power. If you run the GPU benchmark and it shuts off like right away, like how it's shutting off with your games, that could be a power delivery problem, you know? Or if it shuts off after a little while, that could be like a thermal throttle problem. Because, you know, it's heating up, and after it heats up, it can't cool down properly. So yeah, a GPU benchmark tool will tell you a lot about your GPU. You know, it'll help you diagnose your problem. Just take a look at the temperatures. Well, there's a bunch of them, so just search on the internet. Can you run like any, you know, a lighter game? You know, something that's not as heavy as Battlefield, like Minecraft or something. Or can you not run any game whatsoever? Lotus Elise from 1999. Well, here's another thing. There's always a potential danger when it comes to running GPU benchmarking tools, because they do stress your GPU out. So let's say if your GPU is already on its way out, it might completely, you know, say final bye-bye to your GPU, and you definitely don't want that. So before you run any tools like that, I would recommend, you know, just finding out what power supply you're running. Maybe you're running a power supply that's not powerful enough for your GPU. What kind of GPU do you have? Do you know what the recommended power supply for that GPU is? And do you know what the model of your power supply is? Because if you don't have a power supply that's powerful enough, running a GPU benchmark tool could just fry your freaking power supply, because your GPU might pull too much power from the power supply, and then you won't be able to run YouTube either. So you definitely don't want that. So you gotta do some research before you really, you know, start testing things and replacing things. Find out the model for your power supply and find out how much the recommended power supply that you need for your GPU. So once you know those two things, you'll have a better idea. Okay. We have two of these cars now. Oh, looks like I have modified one of them. Man, we have so many repeating cars now. All these championships that we've been doing, we keep on winning the same cars over and over. It's crazy. Yeah, what's your GPU? What GPU did you just change to? Because maybe your old power supply is just not powerful enough for your new GPU. The 1660 Super shouldn't pull more than like 120 watts, if I'm correct. I used to have one of those. And I think it runs off one single 8-pin. For a 1660, I feel like even a 500 watt power supply should do it. Because I remember when I used to run my 1660 Super, I only had a 450 watt power supply and it ran fine. But it also depends on how much your CPU is pulling, right? You might have a really powerful CPU. Do you know how much watts your power supply has? You might have a really weak power supply. Well, when you opened up your PC to replace your CPU, replace the paste on your CPU and your graphics card, did you get a nice look at your power supply? Because you said you did that, right? It should say right on it, the brand and the power. I'm gonna switch back to the M2 here. I really like how the M2 performs now with all the new mods that we did to it. Oh, so it was happening before with your old GPU as well? Well, when you opened up your PC to replace the GPU, the power supply is like right there, so maybe you can open up your case and take a look at the power supply model. See what brand and how many watts it has.